So you could sit here and like, Chris, I'm the world's biggest dreamer. You can't believe it. Me and Kanye, I'm gonna be on Oprah, and you'll see me running for the president of the United States soon.
Franklin,
that's a dream. And dreams are kind of empty. So what's your plan? I'm not here to judge whether or not you have a big enough or small enough dream. And you said, how do we dream bigger? And I'm not encouraging you necessarily, and I want to be more precise with my language now, not necessarily to dream bigger, because you need to have bigger goals. Right. And a goal is a dream with a plan. So you could sit here and like, Chris, I'm the world's biggest dreamer. You can't believe it. Me and Kanye, I'm going to be on Oprah, and you'll see me running for the president of the United States soon.
Franklin,
that's a dream. And dreams are kind of empty.
Yeah.
So what's your plan? Like you and your former partner, we won't mention his name at this point in time. He's dead to you.
Hate
but you have big dreams.
Sucks.
You have big dreams.
Right.
But how much of it did you put into planning and executing, right? Did you break it down into quarters, like 4 quarters a year? Did you break it down to months and things you had to do every week, and down to the day and down to the hour? Did you know what it is that you needed to do? Because if you don't, then you just have a dream. And dreams are kind of nice, but they won't get you anywhere. So let's talk about your own specific goal. Let's refine the question. The question would be then, how do I know if my goal is going to push me enough that I know I'm not just being complacent? We don't want to just be okay, right? You know me. I've talked about this a lot. My feeling, this is just my feeling. I believe this, that if we stop growing, we start dying in every aspect except for our waistline. If we stop growing, we start dying. Because that's it. Because life to me is about the pursuit of growth, about this insatiable curiosity that never gets filled. Because you fill one bucket and you realize there's 35 more buckets. The more I learn that I don't know anything. And that's why I love learning, and I get to apply that. Let's talk about your specific goal. Do you know what it is? And do you know how you feel about your goal without saying the specific goal? Do you know what your goal is? Like where you want to be in 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years from now?
To that extent, I don't.
Okay.
I can say I have, small tangible and financial goals that I want to hit for next year.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where it stopped for me.
Okay. So let's do this. Realize something, and here goes some mixed metaphors potentially, and I could get in trouble. Your goal is your compass. Your hustle is the velocity. With a lot of hustle, and I know that a lot of people think about hustle and grind culture and to celebrate it. To a degree, you do need some of that to be able to work hard for your goals. But without the direction of that compass, you could be going 100% off in the wrong direction. I read in a book, I can't remember which book now, where if you set a destination from the West Coast, where we are today in Santa Monica, to the East Coast, and let's just say it's 37 degrees, and you go 38 degrees instead of 37, you'll be hundreds of miles off course. You probably won't even know where the heck you are. That matters a lot. So sitting down with somebody, that somebody could just be yourself, and saying, where do I see myself? Yesterday we talked about vision casting.
Right.
To kind of say, okay, I don't know exactly how to get there, but I know what there looks like, and that's really important. So if we were to go around this room and ask every single person, where is there? Where do you want to be? It should be clear. It should be fairly concrete. It should be fairly specific. I know where I want to be. I could tell you. I could see my future already. And that's why sometimes when it happens, I'm pleasantly surprised, but I feel like it's deja vu because I visualized it, and it's important. And a lot of sports people, athletes, they do this visualization, seeing themselves walk into the ring, circling around the cage, eyeing their opponent, bowing, nodding, and then just tearing them apart. And they even say it'll happen in the second round. It'll be this kind of strike. It'll be an elbow to the side of the head, and it'll be a KO victory. They see themselves being applauded and celebrated and walking out victorious and celebrating in the locker room. That's how clear they see it. So when they see people walking into the ring, and you'll see the commentators say this, something is off. Doesn't have that spark, that killer instinct. It's that fighter arrived in the ring defeated. Now we all can look at each other. We can all look at each other, right? Well, we can say, Mo's going to like tell you some big goal of his, and you can tell by the way he says it, that spark in his eye, the quickening of his pulse, the white knuckling of his fists, whether he really wants it or not. It's like he doesn't even believe in his own goal. He's saying it as an external thing to make you think he's going to go somewhere, but internally he already knows it's not going to happen. And that's what we can see as the objective friend looking at it without judgment, saying like, oh, I don't think he believes that. And you can tell, you can almost always tell because there's a hesitation and a way of him phrasing it and his tone that you can tell. So if you don't have that clear goal, Chris, you could just be really lucky that you get there. And then you will falsely attribute your amazing planning to that. So my whole thing for all of you is visualize where you want to go. To paint the most vivid, high fidelity image that you can in your mind. And then articulate that in any which way you can. And you make videos. So you can say it in your video, like say, here's where I see myself heading in 5 years. I want my community, you all, to hold me accountable for this. Here's how I plan to get there. These are the steps that I'll be taking, and I'll be reporting back to you each and every quarter how I'm doing. I'm going to fail. I'm going to take the wrong direction. I'm going to make mistakes. Hang in there with me. Don't give up on me because I won't give up on myself. And then you go. So you have to be able to visualize it. It has to be clear in your mind. You have to be able to articulate that. And if you don't make videos, you can just write in a journal like, this is really what I want. And then share that with somebody, because here's the thing. You would think we're really motivated as human beings to do the things that we promise ourselves. But actually, we're more motivated by not letting other people down that we care about than we are about living up to our own promise. Mo's going to talk about this in a second.
I believe in that so hard.
I feel it, right?
Right.
This is kind of what you need to set for yourself. So my thing for you is whatever your goal is, at least include a couple things in there that scare the heck out of you, that you have to transform in order for that goal to happen. That's the tricky part of goal setting. It has to stretch you in the way that you look at the world, maybe your work ethic, maybe how you take care of yourself, maybe the books that you have to read, or you're going to have to face your demons and slay your own dragons. That's how you know there's some component of risk and fear, and therefore on the other side of that is growth.
Hi, my name is Greg Gunn, and I'm the producer of the Futur podcast. And yes, we do have a podcast. In fact, we've been having one for years, and that's exactly why I'm here talking with you. You see, it's really good, and I think you should listen to it. If you like what we do here on YouTube, then you're gonna love what we do on the podcast. You'll get to hear intimate conversations and personal stories from some familiar faces and others you might not know about yet. Plus, you can listen to it while doing something else, and you won't miss a thing. So, if any of that sounds interesting to you, go visit thefutur.com/podcast or find it on your favorite podcast listening app. I hope to see you there.